my understanding was that Bally's and GLPI, they were basically essentially giving the A's 100 in free rent as well, right? That was part of the deal in the stadium deal with Las Vegas. Is that right? And so if Bally's leaves, does that mean that the A's have to find, or they're on the hook for this 180 million? Is that a whole nother thing that would open up here, or how would that work out? Or is
That's a
GL
really great question because I don't know if I saw that element of the deal. Uh, yeah, the because anybody on that site would be paying rent to the owner, um, which is how all of Las Vegas works now. I'm not sure if people even know that, but these big casino companies, they don't own the land under their casinos. It's all owned by a couple of big REITs, real estate investment trusts, right?
Mhm.
And the owner of the Tropicana site is a REIT. And so basically, anybody above ground operates the business, the casino, whatever it is. So in this case, presumably that the A's would be a tenant of this property owner. I don't remember anything about the rent, but the answer is they wouldn't be dealing with Bally's Corp. They would be dealing with the REIT about rent.
Is that
So
GLPI, the Gaming Leisure Properties
yes,
Incorporated? Okay, yeah.
yes, which is it's a REIT that's an offshoot of Penn Gaming, I
Mhm.
believe.
Mhm.
So yeah, they I'm sure that the landowner is very excited about having a ballpark there, but I don't think they're putting out any cash. So deferring rent or giving the rent free, or I don't know why they would do that unless they could collect it from Bally's Corp. They've the landowner is not going to give anything away for free. But sorry, I don't know too much about that aspect of the deal. But
Mhm.
it's all a little moot because because Bally's is not going to be a part of the equation for much longer, and the REIT is not going to put any cash into building anything. So it means should the should the A's move to Vegas, unlikely. If they build a ballpark on the Trop site, unlikely. It will be in partnership with another company instead of Bally's Corp, but nobody's going to do it because it's a money losing proposition. Because if you're building a hotel to generate the revenue you need to make all this worthwhile, you have to build up. And you're right next to the airport, so the FAA height limitation means you cannot build up. So no smart operator, it's not going to be MGM because MGM doesn't own anything. They they operate casinos. They don't own anything. They call it an asset light strategy. So who's going to do it? It would have to just be a magnanimous billionaire who wanted to flush money. And I don't know, billionaires have money to burn, but they're not going to dump money into a hotel resort where they can't make money. And you can't make money from a ballpark on this land. You have to have a resort attached. So it's all very complicated, but it all leads me to believe that none of this is real. None of it is going to happen. And you got these people, all these experts saying 100% done deal. Absolutely. I'm like, no. If the A's ever come to Vegas, unlikely, they'll go to Rio because they're going to give them the space for $1. Much better location, much better infrastructure, and so there's a million permutations, but none of them lead me to think that the A's are going to have a ballpark on the Tropicana site or that there will be a casino resort on the Tropicana site. We're getting a parking lot instead of a crappy casino. And that is my 2 cents for what it's worth.
I love it. I mean, it's funny because the A's are still holding on to this 2028 opening day, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know. There's no way. I don't know how the hell that happens, you know?
I
So,
mean, if they upgrade this minor league baseball team in Sacramento, their little ballpark. There's been talk of them doing upgrades, new lockers. Who knows? Um, they could just transition very easily if they start building in Sacramento. There's a chance that by 2028 they could have their ballpark in order. They would just be. I think the plan is to build something new, but I think that timeline could hold. But at some point they have to wake up and go, yeah, that you know
yeah.
they've just been cagey about the whole thing. So it's hard to take any of it seriously, timeline or not. But if they see success in Sacramento, it's a done deal. That's the done deal. Vegas is not a done deal. I think Sacramento is a done deal.
Wow.
So please start calling them the Sacramento A's so I can take credit for very influential sports podcasters talking about the Sacramento A's.
So influential, yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got,
Great
Hal.
chatting, guys.
You got anything else, Hal? Or are you good?
Scott, it has truly been a journey listening to all your predictions. Listen, I don't know what the hell to believe now that I've been listening to you. It was so kind of you to come and join us.
Because Hal was coming in, he's like, I don't believe. Hal's like, I don't know. He's like, I still think they're going to Vegas. That's what Hal was thinking before. But
anything could happen.
Yeah,
anything could happen. I wouldn't rule anything out 100% because that's, that would be foolish to say anything 100%. But you're talking about a team owner who is committed to not putting in a penny of his own money. So now you have to figure out who's paying for this thing. There's nobody in Vegas paying for it. He's not paying for it. So where does that money come from? $400 million is not going to pay for a ballpark. And you can't just build a ballpark on this land. It has to be a ballpark in conjunction with a resort. Who's going to pay to build a resort? Nobody. There's nobody coming in. There's no angel investor. There's nobody with a vested interest in it happening or the means to make it happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But
you know a lot more than I do. So
I don't think so.
I'm gonna keep listening to your podcast because you're much more passionate about the team. I originally said they were going to stay in Oakland. And if I don't think it's 100%, they wouldn't stay in Oakland. So what do I know? I think it's all been one big bargaining chip to see if Oakland would raise the stakes to try and keep them. But I think Sacramento wins or loses, depending on how you feel about the A's.